We are going to the meet.
Welcome to the Mid Dimension, people. Part two. We are continuing this as promised yesterday.
I'm hearing you double.
Huh? Huh?
I was hearing you double because the stream's still open.
Ty, please, please. So, let's see. We start with nothing, quite literally. So it looks like we are up to a good start on this stream. Ah, anything to say so far, Ty?
This game is not for vegans.
Let's see. Let's continue. Dot. Yes, that's me right now.
So wait, dot is heavy breathing?
Apparently, with that many dots,
Did we
yes.
Did we do corpse party wrong this entire time?
Perhaps.
Fuck!
I mean, what's done's done.
Menacing breathing.
This is the third day in a row that they haven't been able to get in touch with Omi. I don't think they will ever get in touch with Omi. There's no sign that she returned to her apartment, and even her family doesn't know anything. Her parents have already filled a missing persons report.
まあ、あいつのことだからな。何事もなかったみたいに、ひょっこり顔出しそうな気もするんだが。
Pops from under the table. Hello, guys.
What's up?
だといいけど。
I have been reduced to jello. Jello.
The funny gel.
Tastes good though, apparently.
Apparently, I wouldn't eat it though, even if it looks tasty.
In reality, this is like just kitchen nightmare dimension.
This is just a reality show. They are getting pranked, right?
There's the cam.
Yo replies with a gloomy expression. She's worried about Omi, of course, but the incident with Fuminori 3 days ago must still be weighing on her as well. Yo hasn't seen Fuminori since then, and Fuminori hasn't made any effort to approach her or Kochi. 4 people used to meet in this cafeteria between classes. Now there are only 2.
Oh, what David said actually makes sense. So this is the vegan dimension, and the other one is the meat dimension.
True. Yeah, well, I mean, you could say.
Argentina and Germany.
You see, Argentina is the Silent Hill dimension, though.
ねえ、この子、もう一度。
I still can't believe what is happening over there.
どこか、おもみちゃんの。
Just your average Silent Hill, man.
ない。
いや、一通りは確かめたしな。
Look at his face, though.
Wasn't he there though? Like,
No.
No, he was like, no, he was talking to Omi like earlier, and he was like, "I'm gonna go fucking talk to him." So it would only make sense that.
I mean.
Oh, whatever. Whatever.
No, Ty. You're getting a bit you're like skipping a couple of steps. You'll see. But look at his face, though.
That's me right now with my coffee.
It's a lie, of course. Koji knows where Omi planned to go that evening, but he doesn't want to bring Fuminori up in front of Yo.
Jesus. Game.
I told you that, Ty. You were skipping a couple steps. Oh. Their awkward silence is mercifully broken by the bell signaling the start of the next period.
じゃあ、俺行くわ。
Unless Koji is mistaken, Yo is supposed to have class next period too, but she just sit there, staring off into space. Space? She's staring the only place that hasn't been corrupted by capitalism. Unable to come up with anything to say, he leaves the cafeteria reluctantly. I hope you do understand that reference. Ty?
I don't right now. But I brought
Tim
up the
Curry,
thing right now.
Reller 3.
Huh?
Tim Curry, Reller 3.
Never seen it.
It's a scene where he's like, I will be escaping to the one place not corrupted by capitalism.
Oh, that was.
Space. Yeah,
I don't actually know where that's from. I just know the clip.
that's from Brawler 3, the last mission of the Soviet campaign when you're about to like kill the premier. He's like, I'll be running away to the one place that hasn't been corrupted by capitalism.
Sounds like something that you'd like see in like Command and Conquer.
I mean, he's from Command and Conquer, so.
Wait, oh, fuck, I'm an idiot. Anyways, I was literally just like, my rage is pummeling up right now whenever I see demonic snail in chat. So that's all. All I can do now is say fuck you, demonic.
He even typed it wrong. He put the meast. What's that S doing there? It's the meat.
It's not
Pensive.
the beast I meant. Beast.
Pensive moment.
Demonic moment.
Both Omi's disappearance and Jo's depression. See? I told you, she has like crippling depression and low self-esteem. Worry Koji. And both problems lead back to the exact same place. I wonder why.
海のりは一体
When Omi went missing, the first thing he did was question Fuminori. After all, the last place he'd seen her was just before she stormed off to give Fuminori a piece of her mind. Fuminori responded with unequivocal denial and acted like he hadn't the slightest idea why Omi would have gone to see him.
He doesn't.
He doesn't, exactly. Perhaps that was only natural, as he was unaware that Omi and Koji had witnessed him reduce Yo to tears.
Reduced to ashes. Just fucking disintegrates.
Gets stuck.
Down to yellow goo now.
I mean, Saya does have kind of the power of the snap, but yeah, just turns everything into meat.
Snap.
Did Omi
I
even?
am inevitable.
My brain just went like, you know the old when you were connecting your modem to dial up, the old ding ding. That was literally my brain 2 seconds ago.
I think I should have given you the coffee anyway. Anyways, continue reading. We're stalling too much.
True. Did Omi even make it to Fuminori's house? She had been riding a wave of emotion when she left, and might have calmed down and changed her mind halfway there. Or perhaps she ran into trouble on the way? Koji concluded, or more accurately, convinced himself that one of these possibilities was the truth, subconsciously denying the one remaining possibility, that Fuminori was lying, that he had met Omi and was involved with her disappearance. When questioned by the police, Koji told the truth about Omi's destination only up to the train station, maintaining that he had no idea where she planned to go after that. He wanted to cooperate with the search, of course, but Omi couldn't have made it to Fuminori's house. Fuminori said so himself, didn't he? In that case, he told the police everything they needed to know. Not wanting to get the still fragile Fuminori involved, he forced himself to accept this flimsy logic. But the conflict has built up inside of him without his notice, leaving unanswered suspicion to fester in his mind. Koji is deep in thought, paying no attention to his surroundings, but perhaps that is what allows him to catch a sight of his friend back through the crowd of milling students.
Fucking idiot! Ah!
海のり
At first, Koji assumes that he headed to the lecture hall, but soon it appears he is instead going home. Strange. Medical students have required courses in the afternoon. Though he is initially surprised, Koji's hesitation lasts for only a second. He follows his friend, taking care to stay far enough behind that he won't be noticed. Train moment. Fuminori wasn't going home, as became obvious when he boarded a train heading in the opposite direction. Koji's next guess was that he was going to see his doctor at the T University Hospital, but Fuminori rode straight through the closest station.
こに向かってる
How to stop the train in the meat dimension.
We don't stop the train in the mid dimension. It has no stops. It just zooms. At first, Koji felt ashamed for telling his friend like this, but his conscience fell silent as Fuminori's action grew more mysterious. The stranger it gets, the closer Koji feels to discovering the truth behind Fuminori's sudden transformation. Any knowledge would be welcome, no matter how slight. Even Koji is beginning to think that there must be more behind Fuminori's change than the accident alone. He wants a more satisfying answer, one that will help him decide where Fuminori can still be trusted. Fuminori gets off at a small station in a nondescript suburb of Tokyo. Koji follows, trying to not lose sight of him amid the other disembarking passengers. The area is quite desolate, with only a small bookstore, a convenience store, and a market in front of the train station. It is easy for Koji to keep Fuminori in view. This neighborhood was carved out of Fuji foothills, and here and there remain steep inclines and wooded areas that escape assimilation. Koji is amazed that such a quiet place exists less than an hour out of central Tokyo. Fuminori seems to know these streets. He moved quickly and purposefully through the suburban community, his eyes fixed straight ahead. Before long, Fuminori reaches a house. Without ringing the bell or even knocking, he opens the door and vanishes inside, leaving Koji to wonder how Fuminori can treat the house as his own. Got the funny picture turned with the filter.
You know what?
Yeah.
It's like areas in Japan. They must be fucking expensive as hell.
Pretty much. In fact, perhaps it was so expensive they didn't have budget to take a second photo, and they just actually drew it. After waiting to see if Fuminori comes back out, Koji approaches the gate and checks the nameplate. Ogai, it reads. Koji has never heard of anyone by that name among Fuminori's acquaintances. Next, his attention is drawn to the thick wad of leaflets sticking out of the mail slot. This, coupled with the general dilapidated feel of the place, suggests it has been abandoned for some time. Back to a photo with filter. A small playground about 2 blocks away provides an adequate vantage point from which to watch the front of the Ogai home. Fortunately, it does not appear to be the sort of house that has a rear exit. Wait, soul? What do you mean, man? Koji settled down on a bench to begin his takeout. I should have brought more smokes. Imagine smoking. Oh, now they just apply an orange filter to the image.
I mean, it does its job.
I guess, but it's like orange and the top is still like green though. So,
Is it?
Yeah.
I mean, it's fucking trees, so of course it's gonna be green.
yeah, but the trees and that's closer to like the house. They are all orange and red. It should be at least a little bit orange on top, not just green.
Well, whatever, Funko.
I guess. Real photos with filters are pixel, drum backgrounds and soulless. I guess so, yeah. Depends on the art style. If it looks like generic drawn background, yes, it's soulless. But if it's actually done with love and care, it has its soul of its own. 1 hour passes and then another, but there remains no sign of movement around the Ogai residence. Soon twilight set up upon the neighborhood. After Koji's 1 pack of cigarettes runs out, the stakeout becomes a battle against mounting impatience. He kills time by redialing Omi on his cell and sending her short text messages, but his efforts are futile as he knew they would be. When the sky begins to turn deep blue and the streetlights come on, Fuminori finally emerges from the house and heads back toward the station with the same hurried stride. After some brief consideration, Koji decides that right now, investigating the house is more important than tailing Fuminori. He rings the doorbell just to make sure. After receiving the expected silence in response, he checks to make sure no one is watching and turns the doorknob. The door is not locked. It's your boy, the greenhouse. This is
I need to pay attention right now to Gensoku General because some shady guy is posting sips.
wait what? It's posting what?
I'm not really sure why people are DMing me about this, considering I'm like the least active admin, but
I mean, they could have DM'd me, Algernon, Des Moines. Okay, that's weird. We are entering the
Okay.
the Beacon Dimension, Ty.
his name is fucking Hitler Gaming.
What?
He's not typing anymore, I think.
I mean, that should be okay then now, right?
I deleted the zip that he posted, but other than that,
Yeah. So, Ty, Beacon Dimension. Look at this. It's all green.
this is just the green room. Ooh.
The moment he enters the house, stale air thick with mold and dust fills Koji's nostrils. It is the unmistakable smell of a house that has long lain untouched. There is also a faint hint of something else in the air, something reminiscent of damp sewers and fetid cisterns. What? Ty?
Hmm?
My cursor just started moving to the right on its own.
Okay.
Oh. It only does it when I touch on the game. Thonk? Let me I'm gonna restart the game because I think the game engine just literally took my cursor. I think it's text or something like that, and it took it fucking hostage. Let me quickly restart the game. Good engine, good game, good game. Literally after closing the game, my cursor comes back to normal. Quality game. Oh, no, it did it again. Okay. Steam. Unless I think I know what is going on. Buy joystick. There you go.
No, it says. Okay.
There we go. It was I think it was the fucking Steam thingy bugging out with my joystick that I had connected. Let me show you the screen again. Fucking Steam like why did it decide that it's a visual novel? Let's enable fucking joystick configuration on a visual novel. Okay, we're back. Koji uses his cigarette lighter to illuminate the immediate area. In the thick dust covering the floor, he sees several brand new trails of footprints that could only have been made by shoes. Fuminaries. Koji decides to follow suit and dispense with courtesy. He enters with his shoes on. The lighter's flickering flame pushes back the deathly silence and gloom of the house. Koji is surprised to see evidence of life remaining, everything from furniture to tableware and appliances. Nothing seems to be missing. The thickness of the dust suggests that the house has been empty for several months, which means that the owner must have left with more than clothes on his back. Could he have gone on a long vacation? The color in the den is still turned to April. Empty and silent, yet exhibiting signs of the life that was once lived there, the house reminds Koji of a passenger ship entombed at the bottom of the sea, in the graveyard-like quiet and sinister thought. In the graveyard's like quiet, a sinister thought suddenly enters his mind. No one is living here, but that does have to mean that the owner left. Maybe he was murdered and his rotting corpse is right under Koji's feet. He finds himself wanting a stronger light. A flashlight in his hand would make him feel much better. Keyboard noises.
Yeah, sorry for not paying attention to the game right now, but I'm just keeping my eyes on chat.
That's okay. Koji follows Fuminori's footsteps from the second floor, where he begins to catch the scent of paper in the stale air. It is the smell of old books, instantly recognizable to anyone who has worked in an antique bookstore or library. The first room on the second floor turns out to be a study, its towering shelves packed with such a vast number of books that Koji fears for the stability of the floor. As a medical student himself, he is able to discern at a glance that his study belongs to a medical professional, and a high-level one at that. Judging by the content of the books, a smorgasbord of technical volumes are far beyond a simple student's understanding. The owner's interests lie more with medical research than clinical practice. Fuminori must have spent most of his time here. The scholar does suggest that he was searching for something, and the contents of the desk drawers are in obvious disarray. Small pile of books stacked on the side table catches his eye. Being next to the desk, they must have been the most frequently read. Their nature could shed some light on the character of the person who worked here. Koji frowns as he examines the 3 books. These aren't scientific tests like the rest, but all leather-bound Western tomes like the sort you would find in a rare bookstore. Their titles are meaningless to him. Tritudes Chiffres appear to concern semiotics, but Ars Magna et Ultima is some kind of treatise on divination? And then
Excuse me, what?
and then
Bless you.
and then there's the Voynich manuscript, which is like some sort of a picture book. When he pages through it, he finds the text utterly incomprehensible. Maybe it's some kind of cipher. Whatever they clearly have nothing to do with medicine, refuting Koji's early guess that this Ogai was a doctor. Looking down, Koji suddenly noticed the glint of something black and metallic underneath the chair. A pocket-sized flashlight, quite out of place among all these dusty books. Fuminori must have brought it in. With relief, Koji exchanges his lighter for the flashlight. Its tiny body emits a powerful white beam that casts away the darkness. His courage restored, he decides to explore the rest of the house. Koji noticed something strange, something that was not visible in the lighter's weak flame. The slime. Dark, oily stains are everywhere. The stains are especially thick around the doorknobs and stair banisters, like someone grasped them with their hands wrapped in greasy cloth. Looking closer, he sees places where slime was splashed low on the walls, almost if a wet mop was run violently across the floor. Could a guy have made these marks? If so, how? Koji begins to feel sick as he imagines a man shambling through the house with slime dripping from his body. Finding the bedroom next to the study, Koji checks the closet on a hunch. He discovers 2 empty suitcases, not what one would leave behind when going on a long vacation. A sudden chill runs through him. Whoever was living here is still somewhere inside the house. Suppressing the urge to flee, Koji goes back downstairs to check the first floor. If he finds a corpse, he'll have to call the police right away. He might get away with trespassing if he reports it first, but if they find the body later, it will be awfully hard to explain his fingerprints all over the house. The flashlight reveals the den to be covered in even more slime than the rest of the house. The sofa looks as though it was dredged from the bottom of a swamp. In the kitchen, Koji takes one look at the sink and decides not to get any closer. He doesn't want any more fuel for his imagination. He reaches the door to the bathroom. A common scene from TV dramas flashes through his head, a body with slit wrists floating in a bathtub full of water. And wasn't there a movie where a hitman disposes of his victim in a bathtub filled with Leah? Koji braces himself for the worst and opens the door slowly, then shines his light into the ceramic bathtub that appears from the darkness like a white ghost. Bones. A mountain of bones, black with dry flesh and blood. Koji
Sands.
Koji puts one hand against the wall to steady himself as his legs threaten to buckle. Something is wrong, he realizes as he tries desperately to get his thoughts in order. The bones are too small, and there are too many of them. They aren't human. After taking several deep breaths to calm himself, Koji enters the bathroom and examines the tub. The bones are piled on top of each other like fallen leaves. They appear to be from small animals, perhaps cats or dogs. Even so, the quantity is mind-boggling. How many bodies would it take to prevent these many bones? The bones have all been separated from one another, so it doesn't look like bodies were just thrown into the tub and left to rot. Each bone is covered with deep grooves, marks left by teeth biting through flesh. Koji's sanity won't let him consider the possibility that a human could have done this. The owner of this house must have kept some sort of carnivorous animal as pet, given the bones of small animals to eat and dispose of the remains in the bathtub. But why not dispose of the leftovers properly? They could have been just thrown out with the garbage, or was there something keeping him from leaving the house? The relief Koji felt when he realized that the bones were human is once again under attack. In the first place, what the hell was the Fuminori doing here?
どうしたコウジ
Is Tai?
Hold on.
This CG looks very wrong. Without any context whatsoever. Let me seal manually that guy.
Why?
There you go.
Is it the wrong prefix?
No, Dino is dead. That's what's happening.
Oh, Dino is dead.
Look at this CG.
What do I write in the seal review now? Also, yeah, that is
That can be really
some
misinterpreted.
Obayamoshi Dairyu shit right there. Okay, I need to write the seal review. Hold on.
Koji whirls around, his light revealing Fuminori expressionless face.
不法侵入だぞコウジお前だって同じだろうが
Koji replies, barely managing to speak over the pounding of his heart. Fuminori pushes past Koji and looks into the bathtub. He doesn't flinch at the sight of the bones.
僕はこの家の人と知り合いなんだ
I'm gonna unseal him now.
しに来ただけさ
Why though?
He didn't do anything wrong. It's just we said if he does slots and he loses, he'll get a seal.
Thonk.
That's literally all it was.
Thonk.
知り合いっていつから一体何者なんだ
I feel sleepy for some reason. Sorry for that. Koshi doesn't want to believe that the old friendly Fuminori could have had contact with the denizens of this house.
いずれお前にも紹介するよ僕の恩人とも言える人だからおい文則
Koji runs after Fuminori. His heart is finally beating normally
お
again.
前まさか近頃様子がおかしいのはその知り合いっていうやつのせいなんじゃ
This is the mid dimension. Standing in the entrance, Fuminori glares coldly at Koji over his shoulder. The utter lack of emotion in his eyes give Koji pause.
僕の後をつけてきたんだねコウジ
Koji swallows. What can he say?
そういうのは迷惑だ。二度とやらないでもらいたい。ああ。
Fuminori walks away without another word, leaving Koji alone in the entrance. Up until this very moment, concern for his friend was still at the forefront of his mind. Now, however, that concern is swiftly giving way to a growing sense of dread. Does the Fuminori he knew no longer exist? Was the person who was just stared Koji down an impostor wearing Fuminori's skin?
That is very specific.
Koji has begun to believe that it might be so.
Okay, I'm gonna leave Genso General for itself now, I think.
It should be okay.
No more evil intent.
What a nuisance. We are back to the mid-dimension, Tai. Just in time.
What a nuisance. My man.
Why does he insist on interfering? If he only spoke with me to exchange pleasantries, even I could bear it, but now he's sticking his nose into my business just to satisfy his curiosity. Koji is a perfect example of someone who thinks that it's always good to take an interest in other people's affairs. He probably thinks that he's doing me a favor by prying into my life. He couldn't be more wrong. He keeps this up, I might have to find some way to deal with him. Like Saya said, I have to keep my search for Dr. Ogai a secret. Koji could ruin everything. I didn't have time to fully investigate the Ogai residence today. At this rate, it will probably take several days just to go through the study. Saya didn't believe that I'd find anything to help with the search, but I think there's still a lot to explore. Who knows what I'll discover? The problem is Koji. He knows about the house now. Will he make things difficult? A hair-raising voice calls as I'm about to pass through my gate. Suppressing a shudder, I put on a fake smile and turn to face the ringing mass of rotten flesh that is staring at me with bulging eyes.
Good evening, how may I help you? I wish that their voices were like normal, so it's just like, oh yeah, good day, sir.
I mean, just for the memes, I guess.
Memes.
Ah, of course. This is my next door neighbor, Susumi, a middle-aged painter, I think, who spent all day at home while his wife works. I haven't had much contact with him since the accident. Why is he suddenly talking to me now? What is this?
I honestly understand anything at all.
I guess if you hear this like so much time, you start and like it would be in this garbled match in your language. You will start discerning which sounds are correlated to which words. So over time, you just understand, just like learning another language. I guess that's how it works. What is this? Did he stop me just to deliver a lecture? Not gonna lie, the only thing I just understood from that line, like clearly, was Chichue, which means father. Feels bad, man. And so this guy. The flesh beast undulates slowly, as though it still has something to say. The sight of it is driving me close to the edge. Yes, I'm learning the language of the mid dimension. I'm ready to explore the mid dimension. Now I get it. He's worried that this unsightliness of my house might diminish the image of his own. Damn snob. I flash a token smile, then retreat behind the safety of my gate. I can feel Susumi's eyes boring into my back all the way to the front door. Why won't everyone stay out of my life? I just want to live together with Saya. Alone, where no one would ever bother us. Back to the normal dimension we go. Well, actually, back to the vegan dimension. It's literally just green tie. Oh, Tai is dead, I guess.
Anyways. Who's this sucker?
This is the neighbor. This is the meat monster we were talking to. We are back to the vegan dimension. But with this attitude, even while talking, he kept his eyes averted, as if to avoid looking at something repulsive. Has he always been such an unpleasant young man? No, of course not. When his parents were still alive, he had been a normal youth, a little shy but sensitive and caring. It must be the stress of his sad situation. If it continues to build, he might start to develop serious mental problems. Or is it too late already? Yosuke wonders as he gazes wearily at the Sakisaka yard. Yosuke, you see, he's the friend of a good old protagonist from Persona 4. Remember the one with the headphones, Yosuke? Now he's old and became a painter. This is canon now.
Dude.
Even during dinner, Yosuke can shake the neighboring house from his mind.
どうしたのあなた。難しそうな顔して。
今日ね、隣の家の息子に会ったよ。
お隣のって文則お兄ちゃん？
ああ、庭のこと一言言っておいた。
そうよね。せめてあの匂いだけはどうにかしてもらいたいわよね。
The stink from the Sakisaka house grows worse each day, and the Susumi family is at its wit's end.
あの草むらの中に死んだ猫でもいるんじゃないかしら。でも住んでいて気づかないのかしらね。あの匂いに。
Keyboard noises spoke.
まさかとは思うが、生ゴミをそのまま庭に捨てているんじゃあるまいな。
そんな、いくらなんでもそこまで。
いや、今の様子だとやりかねん。一日中ずっと雨戸を閉め切って何をやってるのかもわからない。
お兄ちゃん、頭おかしくなっちゃったのかな。これヒロミ、そういう言い方はダメよ。
いや、あれは本当にちょっとどうすぎてる。ひょっとしたら変質狂か何かかもしれんな。
大丈夫なのそれ。
早く自覚して医者にでも言ってもらわんことにはなんともな。
The seconds crawled by, each tick of the code compounding my agony. When I returned from the Ogai residence, I was greeted by a silent, empty house. Saya had vanished without leaving any clue as to her whereabouts. It isn't rare for her to go.
It was all just a dream.
It could be. It isn't rare for her to go for walks at night. I often gone with her. However, such outings always take place in the middle of the night, when no one is around, and never last for more than 2 hours. Right now, it's 5 in the morning. Soon the sky will begin to show the first light of dawn. Even if she left right before I returned, she's still been gone for almost half a day. I can't sleep. I can only wait in anguish. I try to distract myself by painting more rooms, but I couldn't concentrate on the work. If I had known it would happen, I would have left the guy house sooner. I wish I hadn't wasted time on Koji. Isaiah doesn't return. The thought makes me want to tear out my hair. After its long absence, the thought of true loneliness is too much to bear. At least the call will the call will chimes and say long awaited "I'm home" rings out from the bottom of the stairs as I jump out of my bed in relief. All of the stress that has built up through the night has released in a wave that threatens to sweep me off my feet. You know how when you are in YouTube Studio you get like the options in the left, right? It says like webcam, stream now classic tie. I hopped over to like the calendar thing that says manage, and for some reason I read it as marriage, and I was like, wait, marriage? What? What?
I'm going to marry you live on stream now, Bunko.
No, Ty. Not
Just
the marriage.
you and me together, forever and ever 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 and ever.
I mean, why not? I guess.
Cool. Make me a sandwich,
Saya.
wife.
一体どこに
No, you would be the wife.
Why me?
Because I'm a manly man. I can't be the wife.
Bunko Blizz.
Bliss.
I am the strong German Aryan. You're Bunko.
Yeah.
You are represented by your profile picture.
So?
You are what you display, so you are the wife.
But your profile picture looks more feminine than mine, though.
But it is me. Also, you're literally Kino from Overlord. How can that be more feminine?
I mean, she literally is in.
No, I win this one.
No, you don't win this one. Depends on which Kino you refer to, the bonus story one or the main story one. The main story one doesn't become feminine. The main story doesn't become feminine until she meets Momon. So, yes.
Bunko, you could have just gone for like the low blow and just say, well, you use Koishi as your profile picture on Discord, not Discord, YouTube, but you know.
I need to splash my big brain, otherwise it's not fun. Splush. My question trails off as I notice the thick bundles of paper that she's carrying under her arms.
それは
Fuminori のカルテとか
There she is.
記録
Long time no see.
今日は古巣の病院に行ってきたの
Where's the Come on, there we go. There we go.
Bunko's buffering.
Buffering intensifies.
I like how that's like the most self-aware emoji ever created.
I mean, it's YouTube, so. Saya drops her bundles on the floor, sending paper flying everywhere, then pulls her favorite cushion over and collapses into it, stretching luxuriously.
こんな夜中に T 台から歩いて戻ってきたのか
ごめんね本当はもっと早く帰れると思ってたんだけど調べ出したらキリがなくて結局全部持ち出してきちゃったああ重かった
Maybe it's just the exhaustion, but I'm not understanding a word Saya's saying.
だからそんなもの持ってきてどうするつもりなんだ
どうするってもちろん調べるのようちで時間かけてじっくり
She replies, holding one MRE photograph after another up to the light. At first, think she's just playing around, but the occasional mutters of, better check this one, Oh, I see.
これは
Well,
幼稚
that was silly of
だな
them. And they like, as she separates photos into a growing pile beside her, make me think that this might not be a joke after all.
君わかるのかこういうの。
パパにいろいろと教わったからなるほど、ね、
Big thunk, Tai.
これじゃあいつまで経っても直せないよね。
直せないのか。
Got it from my daddy.
人間のお医者さんじゃね。
Look how ominous that line is. Not
He
by a
has been
human.
saying very ominous lines since the very beginning, but that is like literally just what the fuck?
Not by a
Who is
human
that
doctor.
doctor?
I
Who
can't.
is he?
I can't tell if she's being serious.
私でもまだちょっと難しいかな。いろいろと試してからでないと。
I'll have to experiment first.
I don't like these experiments very much.
Watching more closely, I realized that her eyes are scanning each page rapidly. So rapidly, in fact, that I was unable to notice it at first. Could Saya actually be reading my charts?
なあさや。
She answers coolly, looking up from the
今
charts.
日はもう疲れたし寝ないか。
ふみのりがそうしたいならそうする。
Saya tosses aside the paper she was shorting, then leaps on me and begins to tear off my clothes. There we go.
It's about to get hot in here.
ねえ、寝る前に一回だけ。
It should have changed into a different CG
いいでしょ
now, but I guess.
さや。こう毎日続けてちゃ体に毒じゃないのか。
Now, this is what a virgin would say.
え、ふみのり、どこか具合が悪いの？
Are you sick?
いや、僕は別に。ちゃんと
Here we go, Song of Saya 2.
平気なんだけど。でもさやはまだ。
平気だよ。
She laughs playfully as she pushes me onto the bed, the familiar sweet sensation of her weight and skin rendering me helpless.
平気なわけないだろう。今まで否認もしてないってのに。
Here comes another more ominous line, Sty. I hope you are prepared.
ふみのりはさ、さやに子供を産ませるの嫌？
Wait, are you sure this isn't 2? This sounds like 2. I remember 1 having this progression at the start. I guess I wasn't really paying attention.
Let's have sweet meat babies together.
How can I respond to that?
いやも何も。さやみたいに小さい体じゃ無理だって。母体の負担ってのは大変なんだぞ。
Thunk.
ふみのりが心配してることって割と的外れなんだけど。
Saya seems unsure how to reply, but not because she doesn't understand what I said. Rather, the bemused look on her face makes it seem as though I'm the one not getting it.
でもそれってふみのりがさやのことを大事に思ってくれてるからなんだよね。それはそれで嬉しい。
By the time I break the spell on her angelic smile, Saya has undone my belt and is removing my pants.
なあおい。
I'll remove my pants right now. In fact, holy shit, here we go. Here we
大
go.
丈夫。じゃあ今夜はふみのりが心配しないような方法でしてあげる。
So right that would be the suck scene. They remove all the dialogue in there. What the fuck?
Nope.
There was a story splashed through on that scene, and they just poosh is gone. Bada boosh.
Let's just continue reading. Maybe they shoehorned it in here or something.
Let's see. As she finishes, she looks up at me, smiling like she just pulled the greatest prank of her life.
これだったら
Yeah.
ふみのりだって心配ないでしょ。
I don't think they were gonna remove the flower part. What am I supposed to say to that?
ねえ、ダメだった？こういうの
They didn't shoehorn it, they just straight up removed the dialogue. Hearing the sudden nervousness in Saya's voice, I hastily stammer.
そんなことない。十分によかった。でもさや、何もあんなもの飲み込まなくたって。
そんな。あれはさやにちょうだいよ。
Also, this is on 1280 by 960, right? So, and this is supposed to be the size of all the like CGs. So, why is this like this CG looks super full HD and it's a zoom in of another CG that has the same resolution? So why didn't they just put the highest quality version of the CGs they had instead of like shoehorn the like the resolution?
Bunko.
What?
Yesterday.
But I want the super 4K CGs.
Bunko.
What?
The game.
Suddenly distraught, Saya clings to me like a child who just had her candy stolen.
ふみのりのは一滴だって残さずに欲しい。出して欲しいの。
中にって。
So Saya really does want to bear my child. I'm not...
No, inside could mean other various things.
I'm not adverse to the idea. I still think it might be too early, of course, but there isn't much point in worrying about my reputation now. Assuming that Saya and I will be left alone, I even welcome it.
ふみのりは嫌？
She gazes up at me pleadingly. How can I resist?
嫌なんかじゃないさ。さやさえそれでいいのなら、僕だって。
Saya smiles with relief and burrows contentedly into my chest.
ふみのり大好き。
Purrs. Purrs. Purr.
Bunko.
What?
Daisuke.
Ah!
Fucking dies. Bleeds out to death on the floor. What was that reaction? Come on.
I don't know, man. With her body draped over mine, I become even more aware of how light and delicate she is.
You can clip that sound once it's up. No, whatever, mind. I think Bunko has like reverse thing on YouTube, right?
No, I don't have it unless live replay once stream ends.
Damn.
They just instantly upload into my channel once they finish encoding on the YouTube. So
No,
whatever.
you can go back.
I mean, you can go back. I mean, but also at the same time, the clip we just like the full bot we just upload itself to my channel. So
Yeah, I know, and Bunko, shut up.
with her body draped over mine, becoming more aware of how light and delicate she is. Can this tiny girl and I really live as husband and wife? I feel a pang of self-loathing at the question. How can I still be afraid after all that's happened? Saya's feelings are so earnest, how can I not accept them? I need to resolve once and for all to rid myself of the useless trappings of morality. Saya and I are all that matters. There is no point in worrying about what other thinks anymore. Although I suppose I should still talk to Saya's guardian, of course. I need to find Dr. Ogai as soon as possible. By the
Hey
time...
doctor, can I fuck your daughter?
By the time I drift to sleep in exhaustion, comforting embrace, all doubts about Saya's action has vanished from my mind. Whatever the case, all that matters is that she returns to me. Two o'clock for Susumi Yosuke. This is the most fulfilling time of day. After seeing his wife and daughter off, taking care of the morning chores, and eating a leisurely lunch, it's finally time to sit down at his easel. He's not a particularly popular painter, and he would only hold an exhibition if he were hurting for money. However, the design work as he does on the side ensures that there's always enough to support his lifestyle.
Dude, just draw furry porn and you'll be set.
David, this scene is definitely gonna get removed. Alongside the salary his wife earned working for a magazine, they are able to pay their mortgage and send their daughter to school and still have plenty left over. Yosuke's life is perfect, leisurely and absent of want. He loves his house, considering the symbol of his success, when he mows the lawn, polishes the window and floor, and cleans the kitchen, toilet and bath. He feels the same joy as he does when washing his own body. Just as he knows the length of his fingernails and the time since his last meal, he also knows everything about his home condition. The status of every door, the freshness of every flower, the amount of ice in the ice tray, every last detail. This is his pride, and when he sits in his studio smelling the turpentine and knowing that each element of his house is in perfect order, he feels the ultimate satisfaction. And he fucking nuts. While trying to find the right combination of paints on his palette, he suddenly feels thirsty, but soon remembers that there isn't much orange juice left in the refrigerator. In fact, it's also about time to stock up on bath additive and powdered soap. He could get everything at the supermarket when he goes to shop for dinner, but it will probably be quite heavy. Fucking weak ass. Now then, where should I leave off to go shopping? As he ponders this dilemma, he heads downstairs to the kitchen. Just then, a breath of air tickles the back of his neck, bringing him to a halt in the middle of the hallway. A breeze? Impossible! Every window in the house is closed. Yosuke shut them himself during his morning cleaning. Yosuke enters the living room, searching for a source of the breeze. Something stinks. It's the same pungent smell of fetid swampland that emanates from the Sakisaka house. The window facing the yard next door is open, its curtains blowing loosely in the gentle breeze. There's a hole in the glass next to the lock. It looks strange, like it was melted by some chemical instead of broken. Someone must have reached through the hole to unlock the window. Yosuke stands paralyzed, his heart pounding with anger and fear. He listens carefully, but hears nothing. Perhaps the intruder has already finished his business and left. But a burglar wouldn't have left the room untouched, would he? Maybe he heard Yosuke coming in and hid somewhere nearby. Yosuke realized that his still wet palette knife is in his right hand. He must have forgotten to put it aside before going downstairs. He stares numbly at the knife for a moment, then decides that it's not enough protection. Instead, he grabs the ashtray sitting on top of the table. Made of thick, solid glass, it is big and heavy enough to serve as a weapon. The home that he thought as part of himself now seems utterly alien. Keenly aware of the thumping of his heart, Yosuke looks around the living room, and he sees little that could be used as a hiding place. The intruder must have gone either to the guest room or through the dining room to the kitchen. The kitchen is close to the stairs. If there had been movement, Yosuke would have noticed when it came down, which means that the guest room is most likely the place. He shuffles over to the guest room door and prepares to slide it open. But what is that stench? Could the breeze alone carry something so foul? It is as if the odor is coming from inside the room. He readies his ashtrays and throws the door open the door. The straw-matted Japanese-style room is empty. There is a closet, but no one could fit in there. So the intruder already left. Yosuke relaxes, the exhaustion of sudden relief coming over him. And that is when something seizes his ankle. The instant he freezes in shock, his leg is yanked out from under him, sending him crashing to the floor. Stars explode behind his eyes as his head smacks against the door rail. The hand, if it could even be called that, wrapped around Yosuke's ankle, extends all the way back to beneath the living room sofa. There are barely 5 centimeters between the sofa and the floor. Whatever is hiding there, it can't be possibly human. Before the screaming Yosuke can regain his footing, countless hand-like appendages seize his arms and legs, rendering helpless. As the hideous voice burbles in his ear, something cold and soft crawls atop him. Yosuke can't even scream, his terror is so great. Thin, tube-like appendages penetrate his ears and nose, wriggling deep into his skull. Right before the sensation drives him mad, Yosuke loses consciousness. Tai,
Ouch.
are you ready for Freddy?
Dude, you say you're ready for Freddy, but you're never ready for Freddy.
I guess. But it's gonna be an interesting scene. If they at least keep part of it. Thank you for taking time to see us, Koji says, his humble bow concealing his surprise at the doctor's youth. Even without her light makeup, she wouldn't look a day over 30. She must have been quite talented to be leading neurosurgeon at such a young age.
いいのよ。あなたたちみたいな人が来てくれたのは私としてもありがたいところだし。
Oh, we're back here now.
Her friendly smile has none of the coldness one might expect from her sharp, refined beauty.
はじめまして。崎坂文則くんの主治医の丹保です。
文則の友人で殿尾浩二と言います。彼女は筑波陽。
Yo gives a quick bow, her expression apologetic. When they arrive at the T University Medical Center and ask to see Fuminori's doctor, Koji and Yo had been prepared for rejection. They hadn't expected the ease with their request was granted.
崎坂くんの件について話が聞きたいっていうことだけど、それは私の方でも同じでね。
はあ。
彼、一昨日の診察に来てくれなかったのよ。留守電に入れた伝言にも返事がないし。
2 days ago, the same day Fuminori was searching that abandoned house, Koji frowns, wondering what was important enough for him to blow off his appointment.
彼、学校ではどんな様子？
どうもこうも。もうめちゃくちゃです。
Seeing Yo's shoulder jerk out of the corner of his eye, Koji regrets not choosing his words more carefully.
事故の前とまるで人が違ったみたいに見えます。僕たちもいろいろとどうしていいかわからなくて、それで今日は先生の話を伺えたらと。
あなたたちも医大生？
え、はい。
彼のカルテ見てみたいと思う。
見せてくれるんですか、そんなもの。
Dr. Tamber regards him silent for a moment and then sighs and says,
病院には無断でね。一昨日の晩、この病院に誰かが押し入ってね。
本当ですか？
She stares hard at the astonished students, then shakes her head with a tired smile.
あなたたちは無関係そうね。ちょっと安心したわ。
当たり前です。
でも犯人は崎坂くんの容体に興味があるか、それとも彼の治療記録を消したかったのか。いずれにせよ彼に関わりのある人間としか思えないわ。
は
A
あ。
ominous thought flashes through Koji's mind. It couldn't have been Fuminori himself, could it? Koji looks at Dr. Tambo and finds her staring right back at him, her expression grave. He realizes that she must have been harboring the same suspicion.
あなたには他に心当たりはない？崎坂くんの知り合いでそういうことをやりかねないような人。
Perhaps Dr. Tambo didn't have anyone in mind when she asked, but Koji's thought immediately flight to that eerie house to which Fuminori led him.
知り合いだか何なのか自分にもよくわからないんですが、多分医者か医学関係の人で鴎外っていう。
Koji, excuse me. Koji stops.
I'm so tired.
Koji stops speaking as he sees the dramatic change that has come across Dr. Tambo's expression.
ご存知なんですか？
咲坂君がその男といつどうやって知り合ったのかわかる？
いえ、こっちが知りたいぐらいです。先生、一体何者なんですか？あの鴎外っていう人は。
After remaining silent for some time, Dr. Tambo loses a heavy sigh.
いいわ。その気になれば簡単に調べがつくことだし。鴎外正彦はうちの大学にいた教授よ。いろいろと不祥事があって半年以上前に免職になったけど。
不祥事って一体何を？
そこから先は部外者に話せることじゃないわ。
Oh, come on.
咲坂君には何の関係もないことよ。
Monkathonk.
Stop blue balling us.
Koji has no argument with which to answer Dr. Tambo's flat rejection. However, he can shake the feeling that this Ogai person is the key to unraveling the mysteries surrounding Fuminori's.
先生、もしかしたら咲坂文則は刑事事件に関わっているかもしれないんです。
At this sudden declaration, both Yo and Dr. Tambo raised their eyebrows.
どういうこと？
彼を訪ねていったっきり行方不明になってしまった人間がいます。もちろん文則は否定していますが。
それって大見ちゃんのこと？
Koji is unable to bear the shock in Yo's voice.
すまん、つくば。君には言えなかった。
Dr. Tambo is frowning, her expression even more serious than before.
その鴎外という人物が今文則の関心の焦点になっているらしいんです。彼が何者で、文則が彼の何について探っているのか、それが分かれば少しは事情が見えてくるかもしれません。お願いです。
I mean, after
教えてください。
it's gonna come up next after some neighbor disappearing, he's definitely gonna be suspected, and probably he's gonna get police gloves or whatever.
Yeah. Dr. Tambo hesitated for some time, refusing to make eye contact, but she finally shakes her head.
ごめんなさい。こればかりは私の一存で話せる事柄じゃないの。
先生。
でも少しだけ待って。私は私なりにいろいろと調べてみる。放っておける状況じゃないのはよく理解できたから。
お願いします。
Koji is out of options. All that is left to trust is this young doctor. It's frustrating, but a friend's right only goes so far.
お互い携帯の番号を交換しておきましょう。何か分かったら連絡するわ。あなたたちも何か新しい動きがあったらすぐに私に教えて。
ええ、わかりました。
Sock. What happened to me? Yosuke's awareness returned slowly, as though rising from a bog. He's cold. No, hot. Something itches, like tepid tongues and cold slugs crawling over his skin. What the hell is going on? Timidly, he opened his eyes. Welcome to the meat dimension.
I
What?
think this is just a meat zone.
It's everywhere. The thing that attacked him in the living room, it's everywhere. Terror shatters Yosuke's sanity. He throws off the thing lying atop him, but his wild flailing sends him crashing to the floor.
Meat zone, Act 1.
But is it really the floor? The long wriggling fibers of what should bend the carpet are winding themselves around his fingers. The floor is made of worms. He tears his limb free of the worms and tries to stand, but loses his balance and stumbles to the floor again. The worms immediately swarm over his body. Where am I? Where did that thing take me? Yosuke crawls across the warm written floor toward the only exit from the pulsating room. When he gets outside, however, all he can see is blood, bile and rotting meat. There is no place to run. Most terrifying of all, this hellish place has the same layout as Yosuke's house. In a half-mad daze, he wanders through the nightmarish mockery of his home.
Fuyo be like, first time?
In the small room where his studio should be, he finds an easel made of bones displaying a blood-soaked canvas. Like some cruel joke, everything is exactly where it would be in Yosuke's studio. Howling! Yosuke lashes out against everything from within reach. The easel of bone shatters, riving splinters into his fist. He feels the pain, but he does not wake from the nightmare. If this isn't a dream, then what is it? When his strength gives out, Yosuke falls to his knees, sobbing. For the first time in his life, he prays. The sound of the door opening and closing grats on his ear. Downstairs, the front door? Is someone else here? Yosuke trembles and the blood-curdling sound. It's that thing again. The monster has returned. Tai?
So like, is the meat dimension just contagious?
We'll see. But
Like,
you know where this is going now, do you?
yeah, I mean, I get it. This is obviously, he's obviously just gonna go batshit now. But what the fuck? Zaya is more like an SCP now at this point.
Well, yeah. Yasuke hears the sound of something slimy slushing its way up the stairs. Even as he cowers in terror, he slides his trembling hands across the floor and grabs one of the bones from the broken easel. The tip of the bone is nice and sharp. If he holds it in both hands and puts his weight behind it, it might be able to use it to defend himself. The monster growls are getting closer. Holding his breath, Yosuke presses his back against the wall next to the door. The pounding of his heart is like thunder in his ears, so loud that he fears the creature might hear it. He knows it will eat him if it finds him again, but it's all he can do to keep from crying. At last, the door creaks open. Yosuke leaps on the creature as it enters, fear turning his roar into a high-pitched scream. The flesh beast is covered in sludge and bile juices, but before horror can paralyze him, Yosuke brings his bone stake stabbing down. The monster screams as a stake pierces its chest and punches through to the other side. It falls back, writhing in agony. The sight of its pain sets Yosuke's blood on fire. I can win. I can kill it. If I finish it off before it enters my head again, I'm safe. Yosuke grabs the bone and twists with all his might. The monster convulses and gurgles, its trembling tentacles reaching up as though begging for help. Yosuke knocks it to the floor, then brings his heel crashing down its sloping body again and again. With each thump, he groans and spasms grow weaker. When the monster at last stops twitching, Yosuke, panting hard, tears the stake from its corpse and rises to his feet.
He is the Doomslayer now.
Something squeals. Yosuke turns around to see another, smaller monster peeking out from him from the stair landing. There we go. There's still one left. His desperate rage-filled attack both accelerated him and gave him a taste for violence. This one will be easier. It's smaller and weaker. Grinding maniacally, Yosuke raises his stake and moves towards the second creature. The monster flees screaming down the stairs. Not about to let his prey escape, Yosuke roars and gives chase. The thought that killing the monsters might end his nightmare feeds his savage bloodlust. When the monster trips and falls in the dining room, Yosuke leaps on top of it and brings the steak crashing down. His bloodlust unsated, he pulls it free, then drives it into the monster flesh once, twice,
No.
3 times and more, until there's nothing left but shred pulverized meat.
You know what he looks like now?
What?
Like, he has like a reminiscence of, well, if it isn't Saucy Jack Armstrong.
Oh my god. He's Japanese Armstrong.
I'll make Japan great again.
Eventually, the only sound in the house is Yosuke's heavy breathing. He has slain 2 monsters, but the nightmare shows no sign of ending. Yosuke staggers to the front door and goes outside. The sky, the city, everything has gone mad. Twisted shapes, nauseating colors, stinking air. There is no escape, no end to the nightmare. The last remnant of Yosuke's sanity vanishes like dust in the wind. Armstrong from Metal Gear Rising. Hi, mister. Uh-oh, Tai. It's the M word.
Man! No! Just the trigger word. The entire show of fandom is now here. Hey, mister! Would you like to have some meat?
Yosuke turns to the sound of a girl's voice. She is standing in front of the house next door, wearing a spotless one piece over her pure white skin. In the midst of this freedom world, she alone glows with beauty.
おじさんには私がどう見える？
ああ
Uh-oh.
かわいいよ
Uh-oh. Yosuke feels a sudden black lust rise within him.
本当？じゃあ実験は成功かも。
Yosuke walks up to the strangely jubilant girl and brushes his hand against her long, smooth hair.
こんな可愛らしい女の子はこの世界には君一人しかいないんだろうね
おじさん？
She looks up at the man towering over her, perhaps disturbed by his hungry stare.
お嬢ちゃんおじさんと遊んでくれ
いいけど。
So this is the scene I was
Yes.
promised.
A grin parts Yosuke's lips and he replies,
そりゃもうおじさんが楽しめそうなこと全部さ
What are we going to do in the battle, mister?
With that, he grabs the girl's collars and tears the front of her dress wide open. Shock and fear twist the lovely girl's delicate features, stimulating Yosuke's sadism. Even after killing those 2 monsters, the embers of violence still smolder in his heart, and now they have new fuel to burn.
いい顔だよお嬢ちゃんおじさんにもっと可愛らしい顔をして見せてくれないかい
The terrified girl flees into the Sakisaka house. Yosuke runs after her, feeling the joy of the hunt.
来ないで！
Even in desperation, he has no hope of outrunning his longer stride. Yosuke charges down the hallway and catches up to her in the kitchen. He grabs her from behind and wrestles her to the floor before she can resist.
離して。
Oh,
そんな
wait!
The
Wait!
Phone, the phone game version.
Wait! What the fuck is the background? What? What? So, what do you, in the background? Like, you can see what's going on? It's censored quotation marks? I guess. Oh my god, what
Shut
is
up,
this?
or go, otherwise YouTube will know.
だから言っただろうお嬢ちゃんが可愛らしすぎるからだって
You know, it reminds
Critical strike animation.
reminds me from the all-out attack from Persona. Oh my god. When
You're dead.
enjoying the sensation of her thin arms struggling futilely against his grip. Yosuke uses his weight to hold her down while ripping off her remaining scraps of clothing.
嫌だ、こんなの嫌、やめて。
Yosuke stares at the smooth, perfect body of the girl flopping beneath him. The thought of violating such an immaculate creature amid the horrors of this twisted world is irresistibly erotic. Yosuke runs his tongue over her stomach and chest as though preparing to eat her whole. She stiffens and whimpers at the sensation.
こんなはずじゃないのに。
Her tear-choked voice satisfied Yosuke's lust for conquest. This nightmare has violated him, but now he's able to visit the same torment as on this innocent girl. Where he was the victim, he is now the victimizer. The release he feels is intoxicating. Wait! They removed her voice lines now. I guess because they were kind of like, because he was technically raping her, so she was kind of moaning over her lines, I guess.
Suppose so.
No, stop. I mean, do you want to? Wait, so we will have to voice this, Ty. Pick a character.
I can't do her because I'm gonna have to moan and my parents are like
I mean, you
on
don't
the other
have
side
to
of the
moan.
door. No, I'm not going to. You cannot make me.
Uh,
Remember that I voiced Thanos.
I guess Ty is a creepy old man, I guess.
Yes, that is what I am. I am older than you, Bunko, after all.
How, are you sure? I'm like 22.
Yeah, I know you're like 9 years older than me, but shut up.
Thonk. No, stop. I'm scared. Fuminori! Whoa! The most emotionless act I can do.
Okay, shut up. I'm gonna do it then. No, stop! I'm scared. Ferrari. Oh wait, that's me.
Wait, so...
Shut up! He's an old egg.
So, wait, so who's who now, then?
I'm gonna do Saya.
Okay, so you're doing Saya. I haven't done anything yet. Putting his mouth close to the sewing girl's ear, Yosuke whispers, "If you are this scared already, how will you scream when I put it in you?"
Stop! Help Fuminori! I hope you guys enjoyed this one.
And the rest of the scene is just gone. Thanks. As always, the sight of the city grated on my nerves. Today, however, I don't feel as much hatred as I usually do. I have grown more accustomed to my condition, but that is not the reason for today's high spirits. My search of the Guy house has finally borne fruit. When I pulled all the drawers out of the desk in the study, I found an envelope stuck between the desk and the wall. It must have fallen off the back of the writing tray. Inside were 3 outdoor photographs. I couldn't recognize the scenery due to my condition, but I'm pretty sure that they showed 3 buildings. Scrawled on the back of each photo was an address: Nagano Prefecture, M Village; Tochigi Prefecture, S Town; Shizuoka Prefecture, H Town; the Hentai Town.
Is this where the high school of the sex is?
Yes. None of the names is familiar, so they must be way out in the countryside. The photos are all dated more than 10 years ago. I don't know why they were taken or what they mean, but maybe Saya will be able to make some sense of them. In any case, this is something that even Saya missed while she was living in that house. I wonder how she will react when I show her what I found. Saya. I want so badly to see her. The thought of her waiting for me speeds my footsteps. Rip. Rip him now. When I step through the gate, I see that the front door is wide open. Again, this is the second time this has happened. Upon entering the house this time, however, the sound of Saya crying chills my blood. And it's not just her! Hear a low, wet grunting. There is no time to take off my shoes. I race down the hallway, propelled by a terrifying premonition. Oh, I guess the CG is just arm now. It's just an arm. What is this? A monster?
I'm looking at the original, like the uncensored ones while we're going through this, and boy,
Yeah. Well, what's the boy? Because of what? The original or the censor version?
no, because there's also the black like stripes that are going upwards.
Yeah. But why did they
Some-
focus? Why did they focus on the hand? At least they could have focused Saya's face or something. With I mean, they did the action cut in. Why not do it again?
Action cut it. Secret technique mega rape.
A monster is in my house and it's attacking Saya. The fumes oozing from his body spreads across her skin as it moves with animal ferocity. She looks at me with tear-filled eyes and calls my name in a weak, breathless voice.
Is that the new Skrillex song?
Yes. Rage erupts inside me like black lava. The
Black
monster's
lava, more importantly.
The monster stops gorging itself on Saya's body and turns its head to look at me. Surprised by my own composure, I slip past it and grab the meat cleaver sitting next to the sink. Without a moment's hesitation, I slash at the monster's face. It screams and staggers away from Saya. My attack must have blinded because it flails its tentacle wildly as it tries to drive me away. My bloodlust is still unsated. I calmly seize one of its appendages and plunge my weapon twice more into its quivering flesh. The blade enters its body with fascinating ease. Each strike sprays my face with its blood. I carve the monster to pieces and savor its hideous screams. My mind is finally consumed by rage. No mercy. I'll see this monster suffer for what it's done to Saya. I give myself to the fury, howling at the top of my lungs as I slash and slash and slash and slash. Even after the flesh beast stops moving, I keep slashing until I realize that it can no longer feel pain. Cursing myself for killing it so quickly, I stab the cleaver into the floor, snapping it in half. When my thoughts finally begin to regain some cohesion, I find myself still digging the broken knife into the floor. The monster is gone, but pieces of it are scattered everywhere. I stop cutting into the tile, and in the sudden silence I hear Saya's faint sobs coming from a corner of the kitchen.
Saya.
So, Tai, right?
Yes.
So the meat girl just literally, he literally just raped basically meat, right? Can you
Yes.
picture how that would look in the normal zone and not the meat zone?
I don't want to picture it.
That's
because
a
I still want to enjoy life.
that's a cursed thought that will haunt your dreams now. You don't have to thank me for it. I pull the cowering Saya into my arms. She stiffens in fear at first, but as soon as she realizes that it's me, she clings to my body and cries.
みのり、みのり、怖かったよ。
A message that... Okay, so my OBS decided to die?
Yeah, you cut out on Discord too.
I guess my internet died for a second. I saw like the message saying OBS lost connection. I was like, wait, what? Regardless, as I was saying before, my internet died for a second. So Who was in the wrong here in this scene? Honestly, Saya had no rights to experiment on the on poor boy here.
So not only, so here's a, okay, so Saya just successfully killed an old man, his wife, the children, and then may also killed him, not indirectly.
If like Saya didn't do anything there, she like that this whole scene wouldn't have happened.
From my knowledge right now,
Yeah.
I will say Saya did everything wrong right now.
She technically
Knowing
did.
David, though, he's gonna be like, Riska.
I don't know what to say. I can only keep holding her. This should have never happened to Saya. Everything in this twisted world is to blame. Yes, including myself. I couldn't protect her. If I had been here, then maybe I could have prevented this.
ごめんなさい。ごめんなさい。
Not wanting to hear that from her, I pull her head into my chest.
さやは何も悪くない。さやのせいじゃない。
I try to reassure her, but she shakes her head vigorously in denial.
違うの。私がやったの。
She even realizes that she did was fucked up. I don't understand. What is she saying?
君がやったって。何を。
私、この人の頭の中を文則と同じ状態にして、文則が感じるのと同じように世界が見えるようにしたの。
It takes me some time to understand the meaning of Saya's word.
それは一体どうやって。
Finally, regaining her composure, Saya responds to my confusion in a low voice.
私にはそういうことができるの。他の生き物の体を組み替えたり調整したり
Or at least give the illusion to do that.
生まれつき備わってる能力なの。
There's more exposition here, Ty.
どこをどういじればいいのかはその生き物によってまちまちだからちゃんと勉強してからでないとダメだけど文則の脳に何があったのかだから同じことができるかどうか。
なんでそんなことを。
そうすればみんな文則みたいに私に優しくしてくれるようになるかと思って。
My heart aches at the loneliness in her voice as she confesses her sorrowful wish.
それなのにこの人は全然優しくなんかなかった。さやのことをいじめたいって壊したいって言ってあんな。
She starts crying into my chest again. Unable to say any more, I gently rub her back while trying to get my jumbled thoughts together. What is Saya that she can do such a thing? The answer is beyond me. However, there is one more thing that I can answer here and now. Saya is mistaken.
僕がさやに優しいのは僕が事故に遭ったからだって。
No, I'm gonna Reddit White Knight her now.
I smile and shake my head.
違うよ。それはただの始まりでしかない。そんな簡単なことじゃないんだよ。僕とさやが出会って、それから二人で過ごした時間の、その一日一日の積み重ねが、
文則。
あの日から今日までさやと一緒にいた僕だから、さやに優しくして大切にしてあげたいって、そう思う僕になった。そう思われるさやになったんだ。これって大変なことだろう。
Saya is still crying, but now her tears feel warm against my chest.
わかってる。さっきやっとわかった。
Her smile shines through her tears.
さやには文則しかいないんだって。文則みたいな人はもう他に誰もいないんだって。
Now more than ever before, I feel the depth of the bond between us, and I'm sure that Saya feels it too. I rub my arms tightly around her and share her lips with mine. Saya responds, winding her arms around my neck as our tongue desperately seek each other's warmth. At this moment, Saya is my whole world, and I am hers. The earth turns for us alone. Of course, I still haven't told her something very important. I don't know why I never said it before. Perhaps it was because it was so obvious. However, I should put it into words at least once. This oath of mine.
さや僕は君のことが
待って、
She stops me with a
Mate.
finger against my lips.
その前にみのり、一つだけ確かめさせて。あなたの
僕の望み
Saya nods, staring into my eyes with unusual solemnity.
さっきも言ったけど、私には私にしかできない方法で生き物の体に干渉できる。人間の脳をいじる方法もこれでちゃんと確認が取れたわ。
Saya pauses and takes a deep breath before continuing.
今ならあなたの頭を元の状態に戻すこともできるの。
なんだって
Until now, there hasn't been in the realm of
そ
possibility.
の人にやったのと逆のことを文則にしてあげればいいだけ。
Oh, you know,
でも
fucking up brains is so easily and repairing them is just... Yeah, I just do it like this. Boop! Thanos snap and it's all fixed.
Easy peasy.
I replay Saya's word in my head to be sure of their meaning.
だから文則、教えて、あなたが昔の暮らしに戻りたいかどうか。あの事故で失ったものを取り戻したいのかどうか。
There's been so much shit I doubt he can. Like, he has a fucking murder on his ass now. And you can't just make that poof.
Yeah, just... Let's go for the true
here's
ending.
The good old choice.
I could say, but like, nah. I'm going for the true ending after all in the first run. On that terrible day, when I first opened my eyes after the accident, what would be my answer Ben? When I think back on this many years from now on, I wish that my answer today had been different. It doesn't matter. Here at this moment, there's no doubt in my mind.
あの人は誰だったんだい
Nah, I'm not going for the bad ender first. We don't have enough time if we want to finish this in one go.
Implying that we don't have like a month of not having anything else to do.
Well, I'm getting message on Steam. Song. There you go. That should be enough.
隣の家に住んでたおじさん、名前は知らないけど。
The Malinator.
鈴見さんか
He was hardly a stranger. We've been neighbors for as long as I can remember. I go so far as to say we are on good terms before the accident. And now, I kill him with my own two hands. I feel little. Mr. Suzumi, the kindly painter who lived next door, it is but a distant memory. The pieces of meat around me belong to a creature whose mere existence was nauseating. Only by killing the vermin could I feel relief. He complained about my yard being filthy, the swine. It doesn't matter what Saya did. He wasn't worth keeping alive anyway. Those are my honest feelings.
Is this basically the simp ending?
Yes.
Nice.
My hands are wet with another man's blood, and yet I am utterly calm. Now I know what I lost in the accident. Saya says that I can take it back, but now I know that I cannot. It is gone forever, like the life of the man called Suzumi.
なさい 僕の異常を治すことは医者には絶対できないことだったんだ。
文則？
人間にできないことを簡単にできるっていう君は人間じゃないんだね。
He now realizes it. Thonk. Saya looks away, her expression unreadable. Everything is monstrous and loathsome in my eyes, everything but Saya. I thought that she was somehow unique. I was wrong. I just see her just as I do everything else, as something other than what she really is. But why should that surprise me? Saya is part of my world, just as I am part of hers. It doesn't change what we are to each other. I stand and walk over Suzumi's dismembered corpse.
昔読んだ漫画でさ、事故から生き返ったせいで世界が
Here we go, the anime protagonist.
話があった。今の僕みたいにね。
I am inedible.
I
Put
finally
rest back to Thanos.
I finally realized that even though the stench of this monster's flesh turns my stomach, their blood and guts smell pretty good. In fact, I know this fragrance quite
Pretty
well.
good.
その男の目には人間が石くれる。
He's hoping plus rock and robots a beautiful woman. What kind of fucking manga is that?
だから男は人とは似ても似つかないロボットに恋をしてしまうんだ。
I retrieve the cleaver, pick up a piece of Suzumi's body, and start removing the skin and tendons. Ugh. Ah, just as I thought. The stuff under it is exactly the same as Saya and I have been eating.
まあ、これうまそうだし食べちゃおうか。
Ooh.
文則？
あ、ごめん。今はそんな気分になれないよね。でも死んじゃえば肉は肉だし、捨てるのももったいないと思わないか。
あなたはいいの？
いいよ。
I answer easily. There is no room in any room for doubt in my mind.
あと、隣の家に奥さんと娘さんがいるはずなんだ。旦那がいなくなったら騒ぐかもしれないし、通報される前に飼っとこうと思うんだが。
そんな風であなたはいいの？
Saya asks again, with this time with a trace of fear in her voice. I guess I still haven't convinced her of my sincerity.
さっきの漫画の話だとね、人でないものを愛した男は最後に自分が人間であることをやめてハッピーエンドだよ。だろ？
文則？
Wait, that's a real manga? I don't know, sounds a big thunk.
Wouldn't surprise me. I mean, there's an ass load of it, so.
I guess.
さやと一緒にいられるのなら僕はもう何もいらない。何もかもこのままでいい。
Also, I hear the faint Skrillex in the background.
Yes. Tossing the knife and meat aside, I pull Saya into my arms once more.
言ってもいいよ。
symbolic.
さや。
Look at that. It's the Skrillex is in your left ear, by the way. It's just on the left side of the left channel on the stereo audio. Like, as Saya wipes away the tears flowing from her eyes, I can no longer see any hint of fear in her face.
あなたのこと後悔させたくないのに。なのに。
I have sworn my oath, and Saya has accepted. We have nothing to fear now. Saya will never need to cry again.
でも嬉しい。私って身勝手だよね。
身勝手でいいよ。さやのわがままなら聞くよ、僕は。
Filled with contentment, we exchange a smile and set to the task of cleaning the room. A single person produces a lot more meat than I expected. Speaking of which, I seem to remember doing something similar before.
あなたの二人だけど、多分おじさんが
But wait,
してる
if he can eat meat, right? Right? Why doesn't he just like why does he find like normal cut meat like when you go to like the, buy to the supermarket like some pork and stuff, right? Why does it find it disgusting? Like supposedly he should see this like you know what I mean, right?
Yeah.
That's a bit thunk.
そうか。そりゃこう。
Do not question, exactly. Do not question. Become one.
But it doesn't have to be human meat. They mentioned that you can eat like animals. Like what? After we finish here, we should go gather the meat from the Suzumi house. That should be enough to hold us for a while, and we can use the refrigerator to store what won't fit on ours. It's all coming together. Saya and I will be just fine. Wait. After we finish our labors and get into bed, I show Saya what I found in Ogai's house.
この一枚見覚えがあるよ。うん、確かにさやの知ってる場所。
This photograph that Saya has selected is the one with a Tochigi prefecture address on the
こ
back.
れは家だよね。それと木と山。
そう。文則すごいね。写真も見られるようになった？
まあね。
At the outset of my ordeal, I had to depend entirely on my sense of distance to decipher what I saw. The houses in front of me, the mountains far behind them, the clouds high above. Only distance and scale told me what they were. Photographs and other flat images used to be nearly impossible to make out. Recently, however, I got in better understanding what things are by their shape. I know what the mountains and sky look like, for instance, and how to tell them apart from buildings. Each of the three picture houses shows a similar scene, a lone house in the middle of a thick forest.
パパはね、別荘だって言ってた。ここにいれば誰にも見つからないって。
Sweet treat. Huh? He was prepared.
Judging by the address on the back of each photo, they probably are excellent places to hide from prying eyes. But why three? The dates are pretty old, and it seems odd that they were all taken within a few days of each other. Maybe he was scouting properties, looking for the perfect location for his hideaway. Saya recognizes only one of the houses, so that must be the one Ogai picked. Checking the location on a road map of the Kanto area, I find that it's about 3 hours of Tokyo by car.
お父さんがここにいる可能性は。
電話してみたけど出なかったよ。多分いないと思う。
でも最近に立ち寄ったことはあるかもしれないよね。
There it is. There's the falling, shooting stars. My bad.
Leave my shooting stars ringtone alone, Tai.
I will not.
The way I see it, our only hope of finding Ogai is to follow whatever lead we have, no matter how small. The probability that this hideout will yield useful information may be low, but it's not zero.
明日にでも行ってみようかな。
I'll check this place out tomorrow. Wait, did the game just keep like an entire sex scene, or is it just me, or am I remembering incorrectly the flow of this scene in the uncensored version?
Don't ask me.
Okay.
でもここ遠いんでしょ？
行って調べて帰ってきても、まあ半日もあれば十分さ。
その間、さやはお留守番なの？
So that's what it is. Slightly exasperated, I smile and rub Saya's head.
少しは我慢してくれよ。な？そやだってお父さんのこと見つけたいんだろ。
うん。
After a brief silence, during which her expression is hard to decipher, Saya looks up at me and says,
ねえ、文則。パパのことはもういいよ。
え？
That's the last thing I expected her to say.
いいって、でも君のお父さんだろ？心配じゃないのか？
いいの。私にはもう文則がいるし。パパって言っても本当の意味でのお父さんっていうわけじゃないの。さやのことを教育してくれたし、ある意味では愛してくれてたのかもしれないけど、でも文則の方が優しくてあったかい。
Saya's words make me happy, but I also hear the loneliness in them.
本当に僕だけでもいいのか？
うん。文則は嫌？
いや、でも、 そうだな。やっぱり、大貝教授には会ってみたい。
Having finally figured out how to explain my feelings, I
さ
continue.
やのことをもっとよく知りたいから、僕以外にさやのことを知ってる人がいるなら、ぜひ会ってみたい。
そうなんだ。
Saya doesn't seem upset, but she does tilt her head quizzically as though my thoughts are strange to her.
それに、やっぱり明日、この場所に行ってみよう。
Another plan has started to form in my head, one separate from the search for Dr. Guy. If I find the doctor there, great. If not, well, I think I can find another use for his mountain retreat.
さや、寂しいかもしれないけど、ちょっと我慢して待っててくれ。
She nods, then looks questioningly into my
やっ
eyes.
ぱり文則にはさ、家族とか友達とかもっともっと大勢いた方がいいのかな。
そりゃ、その方が楽しいだろうね。
Fearing that Saya will start sulking, I hurriedly add.
でも勘違いしないでくれよ。たとえそういう人たちに囲まれて暮らしてたとしても、さやだけは僕にとって特別な一人なんだからね。
ありがとう。
Giggling, Saya rubs her cheek against mine.
さやも文則が喜びそうなこと、文則のためだけに頑張るからね。
I know that I said that we were going to finish this today, but something came up.
Not feeling it?
No, something came up, so I'll have to
Okay.
finish the stream for now. We will finish. We are basically this would be Act 3, which is the ending, which would be another
Well,
2 hours. So
sure. Hey, but that means if we have the time for another stream, we could check out the bad ending, maybe?
probably, yeah. If we get the act, we fin Act 2 like quickly, sure.
But damn, that sucks. And here I was,
I mean,
hoping that I finally get to escape Meat Dimension for good.
we can use these transitions between acts as there's a pretty good stopgap between streams, you know.
You know, yeah, it is a good gap, but you know,
Oh well,
no, according to our plans.
nothing always goes according to plans. Sadly.
Never ever.
What? Did it save?
But that's just the Argentina Silent Hill experience for you.
Indeed. Oh well. I guess this is the end for now. So we will see with Ty when we can stream again and then finish this game. And then we can go back to Corpse Party PC.
No,
Yes, Ty. There's no
because Meta is still not back.
no, but Corpse Party PC doesn't have Irish Dearest. We can like
Oh.
leave that fun game for once Meta comes as a part of like a special stream, you could say. So, yeah. I hope everyone has a good afternoon / night, depending on your time zone. See you next time. Yeah, eat.
Yeet!
Eat.